I knew from the beginning that Meghan had a plan and plot when she married Harry. Even before knowing him, her every step is sure and sinister to reach our former idiot prince. But that's not all. What everyone knows is only 210 in that dirty woman's calculation. Firstly, more of a loose outline I'd say, to marry someone with wealth, status, and fame, so that she could acquire those things for herself, by extension. It's interesting that she came husband shopping in the UK. There are very many famous, wealthy American men, a lot of them live in Tinseltown. But what American society doesn't have is a deferential class system. America is a meritocracy. The UK, and most of Europe, still have an aristocracy. Why graft to become a CEO for status when you can acquire a title and have rank? Of course, this doesn't explain why she was allegedly interested in a footballer, Ashley Cole. Having attracted the interest of a prince, she would likely have been on cloud nine. She had validated her worth and could look forward to a life of decadence, fame, and fawning servants. Clearly, she did not plan for hierarchy, duty, scrutiny, traditions, limitations, etc. It would be hard to imagine that she didn't have some idea of what was to come before they actually married. From hers and Harry's marathons, it's quite clear there were already tensions, power plays that she was never going to win. So what was her plan going into the actual marriage in the backyard of the chapel? Was she still thinking she could get the whip hand at that point, or already planning their exit? I think they went with trying to upstage the family from within, and when that didn't work, they took their perceived popularity and tried to cash in on it to fund a life of decadence, fame, and fawning servants by sinking the royal family. One thing is for sure, she is wealthy, infamous, clings to her rank of duchess, and now her children's royal titles, for grim death, and has become the poster girl for narcissism. Short answer. Meghan needed a high-profile, wealthy idiot that she could totally con and control. Most wealthy men have either earned their wealth or, if they were born to wealth, have been taught to be cautious of winsome gold diggers. I mean, there are just not that many famous and wealthy idiots out there. Meghan and her Soho international agent. And just like that, Harry appeared. He's the British prince that all she just wanted to know was whether he is nice. On the other hand, going a little deeper, before agreeing to know Harry, what was Meghan's top priority? She really wanted William. She wanted to be Princess of Wales and then Queen, but William was well taken. So she conned her way into the life of the dumber younger brother that no one wanted, because he is a dullard. She thought she would win over everyone with some kind of celebrity status and usurp William and Catherine as Prince and Princess of Wales in some kind of popularity contest. Harry should have known this isn't how it's done, but with his mental capacity she overwhelmed him with her bullshit and lies. She thought that marrying into the royal family would open doors that were closed to her, those doors being both fame and fortune. Sadly, she learned that being married to the spare, while seemingly glamorous, came with a fair amount of true work, much of it behind the scenes and nearly all of it not involving swanning about in couture and dripping in jewels. She wasn't willing to do the kind of work that Anne, Edward and Sophie do daily. She also learned that the wife of the second son didn't have access to the sorts of discretionary funds she suddenly required. She would have done well to read some of Sarah Ferguson's books, which described in detail her struggles in this area. Unlike Meghan, Sarah did take responsibility for her actions. But anyway, I'm still shocked and entertained every time they do dumb stuff and learn nothing. Even a toddler that touches a stove knows not to touch the stove again, but not these two. Every time something new is announced, a docu-series, a podcast, a book, an article, an interview, an award for standing up to racism in the royal family, a National Association for the Advancement of Colored People award to the man who donned a Nazi uniform and used a racial slur, an award for only having 2 kids, a live-streamed therapy session. I had a hard time typing that last one without giggling. You know it's gonna be a hot mess. One thing I can say about Harry and Meghan is that they are consistent, consistently hypocritical, consistently victims, consistently nothing is their fault, consistently smug, consistently arrogant, consistently narcissistic, consistently unapologetic. So, set a low standard and fail to achieve it, would be my summing up of them. Think they can't go possibly any lower and, whoops, there they go. Personally, when those titles are gone and the rational world sees them for what they are, I'll be happy to relegate them to obscurity, while they whinge, lie, smear innocent people, and meddle in matters they're not qualified for. I'll oppose them. Bullies should not prosper. Honest to goodness, nothing can be denied. Meghan married him for the love of money. She married him for a family, unlike her own. She married him for a career. She married him for a place to eat and rest. She married him for love and for everything that goes along with it. Meghan Markle has done her homework. She is devious, she is cunning, she is a huntress, she is like a fox who stalks, hunts, corners her prey, then attacks. She used her acting degree to play the many roles that would appeal to him. It softened him up for the final blow, the marriage. He fell for her without even finding out her intent. It was an excellent and brilliant move on her part. She climbed the ladder one step at a time. She reached the top, where she finally married the man of her dreams, Princess Diana's son. She won the prize. Her prince was an answer to all of her problems. She was no longer in California anymore. Yes, up to a certain point, once she has bled him dry and extracted every last ounce of publicity pertaining to her being married to him. I know he is stubborn and stupid, but he is going to be a wreck when she leaves him. She already appears to have sucked every spark of life out of him. Whether royal or not, there are some things Prince Harry should be advised to do right now, especially as Markle intends to bleed him dry and then leave him with absolutely nothing. Any assets of any kind and money or property he owns should be gifted to his father or someone in the royal family on a temporary basis for safekeeping and gifted back to him once they are divorced. I mean literally everything. What he doesn't have, she can't take. He should also declare bankruptcy. Just because he's a prince doesn't preclude him from rights that the general public has. There is no reason why he can't do this. And she can't take what he doesn't have. He can literally gift items and property and there's nothing she can do about it. I'm sure the palace lawyers can work something out in his favor. He could claim physical and emotional abuse. Why not? If he gives literally everything away, then what can she take? He should close any bank accounts and start having regular appointments with a therapist claiming depression, suicidal ideation, fear, and anxiety. And he should meet with the counselor regularly, in order to have a paper trail. The only problem for the gold digger is the money will eventually run out with no prospects or opportunities for future funds from any source. They're still trying to satisfy the huge payouts she secured from Netflix and Spotify before the respective companies were aware of what shysters Meghan and Harry were before they were snookered into contract deals. Meghan still has to put out a book to fulfill the contract. With the awful reviews of the previous pitiful books they've published so far, it doesn't look good for them. With Meghan restarting her podcast The Tig, it's just another desperate attempt to grasp at anything that shines a favorable light on her. That ship has sailed and sunk long ago, and she's the cause of her and his destruction. I think one of the reasons Meghan married no-brain Harry is because, by the time she chased him, she was nearly 40 and her career on the cable program Suits was gonna end soon. And her famous chef BF that time was not paving the path for her to stardom. Honestly, I didn't hear of the TV series Suits here, had Sky and Netflix in my place but never heard of her. And even though she didn't land a good, juicy role in Hollywood, being on A-list in Hollywood is what she craves, and the no-brain hapless was just a backup plan to stay afloat with fame and money. Well, that's all for today's video. Thank you very much for watching our video, and I want to know what you think about these issues. Please express your opinion in the comments below. Hope you will always be cheerful and happy. Don't forget to support us by liking, sharing, and subscribing to the channel. Goodbye and see you again in the next videos.